drivers. It's 3:51 in the p.m. on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Feels a little cool out here. What are we at? 13 degrees Celsius. What's that, about 50? The thing on the wall says, yeah, right about 50, 51. So, my outside temperature deal quit reading, so I put new batteries in it. It only reads when I put it right next to the unit in the house, the wall piece. I don't know what's going on with that, so. Excuse me. So, Jimmy. I've been tinkering. Hoods up. Actually, not really tinkering, I've been looking. So it's still stalling. Couldn't find a vacuum leak. Not sure what's going on there. But when I drive the truck, I can walk over here and show you, the temperature really swings wildly. I mean a lot. I'll show you the temperature gauge. So there's temperature gauge. You can see that's actually about where it sits at the low point, and then it will climb all the way past the 210 mark. It won't go into the orange there. It won't go up to the 260. But, I mean, it swings back and forth. So, yeah, we're nice and cool now. So, and it just goes back and forth. Now, I'm wondering if that's not creating issues with the computer, because the motor's not operating at the correct temperature. Would that be part of my stalling issue? Is the computer having a hard time figuring it out? Is there something that's going haywire? I hear a hummingbird. Got her feet are up, but I don't see them. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So, I went and bought a new thermostat. I don't remember what range thermostat we put in this truck. I was trying to go back last night and figure it out. I couldn't. So all my research came back to say that these trucks like to run hot. So I bought a brand new 195 degree thermostat. According to a lot of the posts that I read, got a really expensive gasket too. A lot of the posts that I read, these things like to run right around 200 degrees. And there were a couple of postings that said that if you put a thermostat that's too cool, 165, maybe even a 180. Got this radio on still? I do. Yesterday. It's going to mess with things a little bit. Now they're claiming that it will mess with your fuel economy. I got lousy fuel economy out of this truck. I mean, the motor's not getting hot enough, but why would it be swinging like that? So, I don't know, is that brand new thermostat sticking? So, because you got to remember, this motor, Kevin and I put together, so all the parts on that are new. It's a remanufactured short block, brand new GM Performance Vortex cylinder heads. Bought a Edelbrock 4-barrel intake manifold for the Vortex heads with an adapter plate to put the factory throttle body injection unit on top, which has not been, well, it has been modified. I had the base, the throat bored out and polished. The injectors are stock. But, I mean, new plugs, new wires, new water pump, all the, thermostat, everything, new hoses, new belts. So, everything's brand new on that thing. Number one, I didn't have an old motor to pull parts off of. The old motor that came in that truck was half installed, and it was not I mean, geez, what was it? The head bolts weren't even torqued. Take them out finger tight. So that motor came out. It looked a little rough on the inside, so I just sold it, got rid of it. Thought, start with a brand new one. So I need to find my container. In fact, I see it right there. We're going to pull some coolant out. We're going to swap out that thermostat. Let's see what that does. So let me quit yammering and let's get the wrenching. Corner here, I'll have to grab a bucket of water and flush that. Pop the hose clamp off. Maybe. Get the camera set right where I want to be. There's my... Of course that kind of keeps me far away, but I'm in the wrong direction. No. Come on. Must be doing something. I got coolant up top here. There we go. Come on now. There it is. We still got coolant in here. Drained the radiator. Okay. Got my fancy nut driver here. The long way, of course. Thermostat out. And this is 180. So we're going to put the 195 in, wherever I put it. I don't know what brand this one is. Motorrad. This is a Murray going back in. 195 degree. 91 Celsius. Okay, we got a little bit of anti-seize bolts. I'm going to wipe the mounting surface off just to make sure we've got a good clean gasket. Soifus. Soak up some of that antifreeze with the rag. Big old new thick washer. And I need a knife. gasket on, everything lines up. Don't like that the gasket allows the thermostat to move around a little bit. That's not good. Maybe we're just going to reuse the old gasket. It's paper. It didn't tear. You're not supposed to, but I don't know if I trust. We'll go with it. Once it seals down, it should be alright. I hope. Which means I gotta get the old gasket off. And it is stuck to the neck. Just on the corners. Alright, let me go clean this off. Okay, still got goop on the bolts. Flip the direction on the drill with my little extension. Giving just a little bit more of a snug because that's just an aluminum intake, so we don't want to chew it up. Hose is back on. I'm going to flip the clamp around this way. A little bit easier if I would have taken the air cleaner off, but oh well. Snug her down a little bit. Get the hose or the rag on the other side to soak up the rest of the coolant. Paint's flaking off the front of the block here. Alrighty, I gotta go find my coolant. Got the plug put back in down there, so we're okay. Motor should still be mostly full. So we'll be back in a sec. Okay, we got a gallon of antifreeze and a gallon of water. This one's been opened already, so that's alright. You don't want to run just straight antifreeze. You want to mix it. Cools better that way. This jug I'm using now actually had some pre-diluted. Wasn't much, but it's not even a quarter of a gallon. See the water level now. What I'll do is we'll top it off with this, because we had to fill the radiator hose yet. Anything else we need we'll fill with the straight antifreeze. Hopefully this fixes our problem. Actually, what I'm going to do is take the rest of this gallon, flush underneath the hood here. And rinse off what I spilled when I drained the radiator. That soak in. Come back over here. We're down a ways. I hear drippings, but that's probably just from me flushing. I don't see any weepage around the neck. Get our saturated rag out of here. Get the air out. We're getting there. Actually, I think we're just about there. I think we should probably fire it up and let it circulate. And top her off as we go. Don't know who that is, but so I'm going to hang on to the old thermostat, which is still new, just in case. Yeah, we're still bubbling a little bit. Tools out of the way here. Just finish off this whole container. Didn't think I took that much out. Alrighty. Let's fire this thing up. Or not. It's going to say, what's more? Dump everything on the ground, that's alright. This This is a brand new radiator in this truck. I need to top off my overflow tank too. So far so good. No temperature showing yet, but we'll bring you back in a sec. Sound of this truck. Okay, we've been idling for a couple of minutes now. We're almost at the 210 mark. Let's see if it's still creeping up. Stabilize right there. It's still going up a little bit. I think we're stabilized. It's still going up a little bit. 210. Before it would drop way below, we got the 100° and the 210 mark, and there's that little line in between. It would go below that mark, and that was the range it would swing back and forth through. It's still creeping up. Yeah, it's going up now. She's climbing. But the gauge could also be off. Brand new water pump, brand new radiator, brand new thermostat. Just make sure we're not leaking anything. Up a little bit, so we're pressurizing. Dry on this side, not leaking from the radiator drain, not leaking from the tap. We're warm, it's pressurized. And we dropped a little bit. Battery's about to die, so I'm going to call that a success. We raised the temperature a little bit. It hasn't shuttered. I'm going to take it for a drive. I'm not going to drag you guys with because the battery's about to die, but I'm going to take it for a drive. Just see. Fingers crossed. Maybe you just wanted to run warmer. I'll charge some battery and I'll bring you guys back in a bit. Well, we're back. Went for a drive around the lake. Got the radio on. Reba McEntire's singing on there. We're going to shut that off. But, went for a drive around the lake. Kind of cool out. Down to 12 degrees Celsius. She did good. Still stalls. Didn't fix it. However, the parameters have changed. I'm trying to get the base off the camera and put back on the tripod here so I don't lose it. So before, you'd be cruising around, truck gets up to temperature, the low temperature, and it stays right around 210 right now. It drops a little bit, but it goes back and forth as that thermostat opens and closes. But before, you'd be cruising around, and it seemed to do it when it was cooler. So that may be part of the issue, but you'd come up to a light, got your foot on the brake, you're idling, and the truck would, running smooth, and then just give a little shudder, and then go back, and then it would shudder, and then off. Just like turning the key off. It wouldn't cough or sputter or anything, just chug, 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 off. So, now what it does, up the temperature, come up to a light, it gives a little, almost like just a little bump. Almost like it's trying to go again. And I don't know if that's the motor. I don't know if it can't be the torque converter doing something, because the temperature wouldn't have changed with the torque converter. But it just gives just a quick little, and then it'll run for, I don't know, another 20-30 seconds, and then just shut off. So it doesn't do the shutter anymore, but it just does just a little So it did it twice. I was hoping to catch a couple more red lights, but I didn't. I could replicate it just by driving it around, park it, pull up the side of the street, sit there with my foot on the brake till it stalls, but it still does it. But like I said, it did change it. So it seems to be running smoother again, though. So I don't know if the computer in this truck, I don't think it's one of those that learns. I think it's just got the set parameters, and that's all they run at. And I shouldn't let you out, but I'm going to. Get later in the day. The OBD2 stuff, it can learn how you drive, and it adjusts, and yada yada yada. This one shouldn't do that. But the one thing I haven't done, I went through that, I can't even remember, Harris Performance, was that the website? There's a site that just talks about TBI motors and how to build them and get the max power out of them, and what you can and what you can expect and what you can not expect. I did everything that he recommended for I don't want to call it a performance build, but the cam, the heads, the intake. The only thing I haven't done is the chip. So I should probably get online and just see what that would cost me. That might just be enough to change the parameters in the computer, but again, messing with these motors and these computers as I have, really the chip only does anything at wide open throttle. I don't drive this thing at wide open throttle. I don't race it. I just drive around town. So, but maybe that's messing with something. I'll have to see what he wants for one of those chips, and if it's not too much, we'll snag one, we'll put it in. We shall see. But it runs good. Like I said, seems to be running real smooth again. Plenty of power. Makes all the right noises. The spark knock is also not as prominent. It's still there. So I think the motor's happier running at a hotter temperature. One other thing I could do would be to get like a 205 degree thermostat, but I don't want to go too hot. So, but I don't know with the cam and the heads and yada 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 if it really wants more heat. I'll have to see what the website says. I don't remember it saying anything about thermostats and temperatures and whatnot, but no, it is running better. So I'll try to drive it a little bit as it is, see if the system will learn, see if it does get any better. We've got cold right now. It's supposed to warm up this weekend. I don't know what next weekend's supposed to be like. We're right at 50 degrees right now, so it's not cold, but see if we get a little bit warmer temperatures next week and just take it for a run and just see if it changes anything. So I don't know. We're learning. We're figuring it out, hopefully. So I'm going to kick y'all off here, go inside, edit this. I got to finish up laundry and get some stuff cooked up for dinner tonight and sit around and hang out with the putty cats. And neighbors are screaming at their kids next door, and go back inside. But thermostat's changed. It's not leaking. Went from a 180 to a 195. Like I said, I don't know, maybe it wants to go up to a 205. I think that's the next size up. I don't think they do a 200. But it really doesn't go much past the 210. It goes a little bit past the 210 mark, and then back down to probably about the 190 mark-ish. 180, 190. So, I don't know. We'll see. So thanks for tagging along. If y'all have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. I'm not against getting some help on this one. We're figuring it out slowly and surely. Thanks for watching.